Okay, well, we're back at it again. It's fine. My computer might have crashed, might have died, and I might have died with it, but we're back, and that's what matters, really. So, but yeah, you guys are now standing just outside of the gates. Do you guys want to enter and try and attempt to kind of get more stuff, or stay a night, or did you want to pitch tents outside? Oh, yeah, you can go inside and attempt to get some drinks. But yeah, as you guys walk back through the actual city gates, you can see that they are only slightly ajar. They're not majorly open for the most part. As you actually get through the actual gates themselves, walking through, you see that the very similarly, this is set up not necessarily in the same fashion as the other one, but you can see that it is a very similar kind of like get up. Although you give me an insight check.
I might be fucking blind.
It's alphabetical, my brother.
Here's my insight. There it is.
23, 21, 13.
Wait, Garner wrote it. Oh.
Oh shit, sorry, I'm not even in the game yet.
9 plus 4.
Why did mine not show up in the chat?
Did you press... It's because it says you're not connected to the game.
Oh,
Might have to reload it. You can't,
I was seeing everyone else's rolls, so I thought I was, but I guess I wasn't. It lied to me.
Strange. Resuming the game.
I saw the dice fly across my screen and everything.
Yeah.
Fuck, it is a fucking fibber.
Okay.
So not the right dice.
From Tyron.
Damn.
Was that an insight check?
Nope. Let me go back to
Yeah. There we go.
Insight check from Fulgori.
insight. This is initiative.
It's under your skills, my brother.
Oh, you're right.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, for the most part, unfortunately, Gardner, Theron, Fulgor, it's a little bit ambiguous as to kind of how the people are acting. They seem like they're probably a little bit more normal than the other street that you had previously seen. However, Venjor and Zane, the two of you can kind of suss out that it's definitely still very much similar to how they were behaving in the previous street. Though it's a little less forced, a little less repetitive. It's harder to tell. You can tell that these people are either actually going about some of their routines, or some of their routines are designed to look like this. It's definitely still practiced. A lot of their movements and kind of back and forths are still clean. It's very... the best way to say it would be like, it's too clean. It doesn't feel real. Would be the best way to put it. But yeah, the main streets themselves are still as they were. There's a variety of people, and like there's a lot of people who are going about their business, and you can even see other adventurers who had taken up the call to come to the city, kind of wandering about the streets. Some of them relatively new, some of them relatively scarred and kind of experienced, just going about. Though it doesn't seem many of them have noticed the things that you have. As of this current moment, yeah, it just looks like a normal street town. Did you want to find a place to stay, a drink to have within the main streets?
Correct.
Or did you want to perhaps go into the back streets?
Back street, baby.
Back streets, back. Okay, so as you're kind of glancing around, you do still see that there are guards kind of patrolling the grounds and kind of walking around, though there does seem to be significantly less than there were in that main street of which you had entered previously. The amount of adventurers is also significantly lower in this area. It seems that the majority of them probably made their way back to the main kind of thoroughfare, or had kind of, continued on with whatever else that they were doing. But you can see that there is less people. It would probably be easier to get to the back streets. So if all of you attempted to get back there, give me a stealth roll.
No.
9, 13.
Oh, I got it. Yo, this is
16.
Wait, he has a. Why do they have disadvantage?
Because of their armor.
But you
I
got
should've taken it
funky
off first.
stuff.
Yeah, it's like if you're wearing anything more than light armor, you get disadvantage.
Kind of hard for Theron to hide, honestly.
Yeah, Theron's a big boy.
that is true. You're 5. I'm a pretty big man.
Fenrir, Zane, Gardner, Theron. It's difficult. Like, even with the crowds, even with the lack of guards, trying to get into the back alleys, trying to find an area where you can relatively easily kind of sneak past all of them, it's not easy. You could risk it, but there's a very high risk of you failing. Or perhaps attracting attention where you don't mayhaps want it. As for Fulgor, you do manage to succeed. You manage to successfully kind of like sneak into the back alley, blend into the darkening shadows of the late evening. And for you, you could probably get to the pass without the rest of the group. However, they would be stuck in the immediate area and you would be alone. So, the rest of you, did you want to press your luck? Did you want to try again?
Yep, YOLO.
Okay, give
I
me
mean, why
another
not?
stealth check.
Yeah, but
Fulgor, you've already
Let's do it.
succeeded. You don't need to worry about this. Okay, Zane. Okay.
Jesus.
Of all these places, get me in there.
I still need one from
Can I-
Theron.
I'm gonna try to like talk my way into. Wait, is that impossible?
How?
We're just trying to sneak into
You're trying to
Okay.
get to an area you're not supposed to. Who are you going to try and talk into letting you
Alright,
in?
alright.
I mean, like, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying, like, you have to describe to me how you're going to go about doing that. Like,
Is there no guards?
there's tons of guards. Like, there's enough that they're still patrolling around, and they're the reason you might get caught.
Okay, when I get caught, I will persuade them.
Okay, because you do get caught. Zane, Gardner, and Finjor. Zane and Finjor specifically. The two of you have relatively little issue. Zane, you kind of like guide Finjor ever so slightly, and the two of you vanish into the shadows to appear near Fulgor. However, unfortunately, Gardner, Theron, the two of you are not quite as stealthy or as quiet as you'd like to be. And as you're kind of like making your way to the back, you're sneaking through the shadows, kind of walking past some bushes and empty buildings. You get into a side area, and as soon as the two of you kind of walk forward to try and meet up with Fulgor, Zane, and Venjor, unfortunately, you are stopped by what appears to be a guard. She seems to be standing, just like a little lopsidedly, but she is still walking, has her spear in hand, her shield strapped to her back, and she's kind of like dragging the spear ever so slightly. She looks at the two of you. You're not supposed to be back here. What are you doing here?
I guess I'm just taking a leak. I'll be on my way.
Okay.
I have pressing matters from the mayor to be here.
The fuck's a mayor?
I'm doing some inspections
For what? I don't know you.
on the quality of cobblestone.
What? Give me a deception check with disadvantage.
I was persuading this woman.
That's a deception check. You are lying.
You're deceiving her.
You have disadvantage.
How do you do that?
Roll again and take the lower number.
The cobble inspector.
Okay. Honestly, he's pretty good at it.
So
She
good
kind of
at
looks at
describing
you. Is there a cobble factory near here? I guess my knowledge of the city is as good. I'll be right back. I have to go check with my captain. She kind of walks away, leaving you access to the rest of the city if you so wish.
I guess we're joining up.
Sorry. But yeah, you walk forward. I mean, the rest of you, the other three, Fulgor, Zane, and Fincher, you guys just kind of watched this and listened to this going on. It was Certainly interesting.
That lady should be fired.
No, she should be raised.
Dude, she literally got decepted.
But yeah, you all managed to make your way into the kind of real heart of the actual city itself, kind of pushing past the curtain, as it were, of the main street's thoroughfare. And you can see that it is definitely a lot more rowdy, a lot more different in the back here. There's singing, there's loud chanting, there's people going about the streets drunkenly off of their toes. There's this one guy puking on the side of a building and a woman yelling out of a window at him. There's a man throwing shit out of a fucking window, and it's like hitting random pedestrians, and people are yelling at him and throwing shit back. It feels a lot more genuine at the very least. And there are a few taverns that you do spot kind of nearby. Not necessarily the traditional style that you would see in fantasy. They're more just these like sandstone buildings, low, squat, and you can see that they kind of encompass this rather large area, and the majority of them seem to have these like kind of folded up bits of tents and cloths that kind of drape upwards, and you see that there's this bits of scaffolding that seem to kind of lead upwards, and you can see people walking in and out of these like quote unquote tent rooms, even though they're like suspended in the air. It's quite a unique sight.
Cool.
But do you wish to approach one of these establishments?
There's nothing better to do this fine night, right? Let's find a bar,
Drinks.
get wasted.
All right. Yeah, as you kind of like approach the actual squat building in the front, and you can see that this is some sort of drinking establishment that previously, they're really during the day. It seems that the harsh heat of the sun kind of heats up everything, and people would rather be indoors or behind cover or underneath the covers of these tarps. But now that night has settled in, you can see that with the tarps and kind of like the actual buildings themselves, there's this just like low radial heat that almost seems to permeate throughout the entire area itself. While the night sky and the night air is cold and a little bit chilly, the actual building interior is still relatively warm. And it's quite nice. And the interior is filled to the brim with people. Like, as soon as you walk in... Sorry. I am gonna get a drink so I can start fucking clearing my throat in front of your ears.
Oh, he's phlegmy.
Theron, way to think on your feedback there.
Thank you, sir.
Cobblestone Inspector.
It works all the time.
Okay, I am back.
The old reliable.
But yeah, as you guys kind of like push into this establishment, you can see a variety of people already pushing their way out, mainly due to the fact that there is only like a slight tarp that seems to be hanging in the doorway. That is to prevent people coming in or out, or kind of like separating the exterior from the interior. And it is rowdy. It is very, very, very rowdy on the interior. Give me one moment. I have some new sounds that I'm going to use.
Go.
I don't know if it'll actually play, but it should. Oh, that's weird. There's fucking birds in this one. This is the one that I wanted. Okay, let's see if it loads.
Would it be under ambient?
There you go.
That's
No, it's still under playlist.
weird.
Okay, but yeah, as you kind of like pass your way into the interior, you can see that there is a large crowd of people. The interior is actually not very large, like maybe 40 feet by 40 feet across. There's a variety of other tables that are just kind of littering the entire area. There's a large bar of which you see, like standing behind the bar is two tiefling women. Both of them like really tall, really muscular, and just kind of doling out all sorts of drinks to all sorts of patrons. But yeah, and people seem to be having a really good time. There's a large variety of different types of people, humans, gnomes, halflings, tieflings as well. There is, however, something that you do notice. Actually, do you notice? All of you give me a perception check.
With advantage?
Oh, baby.
Fenjor. Sorry, why do you have advantage?
Because I'm a smart man.
No.
Dude, how come I keep rolling so low on all these? Like, it's crazy.
What do you mean?
Skill
Dude, you
issue.
literally said cobble and you got through.
You literally did. This guy's like, fucking Zane, Theron, unfortunately, due to the crowd, the kind of like loudness, it's very difficult to tell specifically what it was. But Fulgore, Gardner, you have a little bit of bit of space to breathe. As soon as you walk in, a small bubble opens up, and you do spot in the corner of the inn what appears to be the similar person that you had seen previously in the drinks area. One kind of like covered in this cowl, just hanging out in the corner. It seems to be the same person at the very least, from what you can do tell. Fenjor, you also see them, but in addition, you also see someone else that is covered in a large cowl and kind of like covered. And from the best that you can tell, because of the way that they're covering themselves, they would seem like they're a tiefling. However, the way that their horns, the way that everything is shaped, the way that you see a snout and within the darkness of that hood, you believe that they're actually a dragonborn, hidden within the corner, kind of trying their best to absolutely stay out of sight. And you can see that for some reason the majority of people are just completely ignoring them, almost like they didn't really exist. And you look away for a brief moment before looking back, and though hazy, his form gets hard to see almost. But you still remember he's there and you see him.
Huh.
But yeah, the rest of the tavern, there is no room to get a table. There is no room to even like try to get a table because the majority of people are just standing up. They're being rowdy with one another. They're drinking. Some people are dancing. There's bits of music going on in the background. It's a crowd.
I want to start a mosh pit.
Okay. How are you going to try and do that?
I show off my dance moves.
Okay. All right. Give me a performance check.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so good at dancing.
Okay.
And I try
I will
to
join
bring
you.
people
I will
along so
join
we
you.
can all dance together.
Okay, never mind. I can't join you.
Well, you certainly try.
And I could play some music for his dancing. I don't know. Wait, what? No, my okay. Sure.
Ooh, unfortunate. Gardner, you kind of pull out an instrument, and as you're trying to play, unfortunately, you just can't match the beat of the crowd. You can't get your music to kind of like sound and resonate above them. It's very difficult, unfortunately. And Theron, as you're trying to join the crowd, you're trying to dance, you're trying to partner up with Zane. He's moving too fast. He's moving too well. And honestly, people's eyes are on him. And Zane, as you kind of like move up the people apart a little bit, you begin to just dance in the center. And it is a performance. The clothes that kind of like are lightly sitting upon his body swirl, and it's elegant and beautiful at the same time. And it's something else to see, honestly. The crowd begins to kind of like chant, dance, dance, dance. And there's just, just a variety of other people that begin to just join in. Not just for you, you're busting out your moves and you see a variety of other people kind of like jumping in. One of them starts like doing fucking flips on his head. Another one begins just to spin in place. A shorter dwarf kind of jumps up, sits on the ground and just starts spinning on his ass. Like it is a sight.
Okay. I'll say, somebody get me and my friends some drinks.
give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Oh.
You have advantage, so you can roll again and take the higher one.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Easy.
And you do. You say this out loud, and a variety of drinks are piled upon in front of all of you. In fact, a table is cleared out even. And all 5 of you
Easy.
manage to get a little bit of room in which you can kind of like place and do all of your movements. It's honestly quite nice. After a couple of minutes, more drinks are delivered to your table to the point where, honestly, it's kind of fucking filled to the brim, and you're just sitting there, you're like, shit, that's a lot of drinks. Do all of you drink?
I'll handle it. I start chugging as fast as I can.
Alright, Fulgor, give me a con save. Anybody else drinking?
I'll join him.
Give me a con save.
Oh god.
Ooh.
Oh, I had to click. Ooh.
Okay. Theron, do you join in as well?
Yes.
Give me a con save.
Where do I see this?
On your character sheet, it is...
Oh, my character.
Click the con.
Where else are you looking?
I was looking at the little attributes thing, like the
Yeah, no,
table
that's
again.
It's at the
big
very
one.
top. It is a Constitution saving throw, the right side of the con.
Right.
I accidentally clicked ability check, but my saving throw is the same thing.
It's fine.
So you click the letters like con,
Yeah.
and then there you
This
go.
guy can
Oh
drink.
shit!
Okay, honestly, Zane, Fenjor, unfortunately, you're not keeping up as well as you could. You've downed 2 drinks, and honestly, on the third, it starts to get hard. Like, oh, stomach is rumbling. You're not feeling well. Gardner, it's not too bad. You get like through 4 or 5 drinks before you're like, ooh, that's a little much. This is honestly rather strong stuff. For the most part, unfortunately, in other locations, they don't usually have anything stronger than beers or, ciders. Here, it seems that the alcohol is actually a lot stronger. This is probably closer to 15% alcohol, more like, a very tasteful wine rather than anything like a beer. But yeah, Fulgor, Theron, 2 of you just fucking slam dunked these drinks like there's no tomorrow. And honestly, who knows? In a world like this, there might be no tomorrow. The 2 of you managed to get through 9, 10 drinks each before you even start to feel anything. But did you want to press forward? Did you want to continue? Did you want to have more drinks? Because more is presented to all of you. The performance by your friend was so well done, and his persuasion was so well, that people are more than willing to seem to buy all of you some drinks.
I'll
I will
drink.
press forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink.
Anybody who is continuing to press forward has disadvantage on their Constitution saving throw. Zane, Fenjor, if you 2 press forward, which I think you... Well, I know, Fenjor, you said you did, right?
Yes.
Zane, did you want to press forward as well?
Wait, what happens if I press forward?
I don't know. You just drink more. It's up to you.
Oh, fuck it.
Okay. The 2 of you automatically fail your Constitution saving throws and are considered level 4 inebriated. Fulgor, Theron, and Gardner, give me some con saves. All 3 of you have disadvantage.
Fuck.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna keep chugging the rest of them were. I was probably actually going to go up to the bar top and ask about the booze.
Oh, sure.
Boo.
But yeah, Gardner, like the rest of you watch as he tips another drink down his gullet. He puts it back on the table. He goes, and he falls over backwards. And the rest of you watch as he just slams down onto the ground, completely passed out.
Lightweight.
Theron, man's on his 21st, 22nd drink, still going at it. It's all that weight, man. He's big, hefty guy. He's doing good, but even then, you're also starting to feel it.
No, okay.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, Fulgor, as you're kind of having a few more drinks, you waddle up to the actual bar, and you do see the 2 tiefling women who are absolutely gorgeous. Probably not dressed nearly as much as they could be, just kind of delivering variety of drinks to the variety of men and women that are currently within this bar. One of them stops, looks at you, and you can tell that they are actually probably what appears to be twins. They look almost completely identical, save one has like a small cut underneath one eye while the other doesn't. She looks at you. No, sweetie, what can I do for you?
Well, you fine young things. I was just wondering about the booze here. See, I love me a good night of drinking, but I prefer the finer stuff, if you know what I mean. You got any more sophisticated booze up on your shelves?
Are you talking about wines? Or do you mean spirits? Do you want something harder, or do you want something tastier?
I tell you what, I could go for something spiritual.
She kind of leans over to you. I think your friend is probably nearing his limits. Here's some water. Tell him it's a spirit.
I'll tell him it's Everclear. I consider myself a little bit of a sommelier, if you know what I mean. Give me some with some fine tasting points. Your pick.
All right. Are you willing to cough up the coin for it? This one you're paying for yourself, not those fine, esteemed gentlemen and gentlewomen that are paying for you.
Of course. I'll throw it on the table. How much for a good glass of your good stuff?
For the good stuff, well, 8 gold.
Ooh, that should better be good.
Mm-hmm.
But I want it. I'll toss it on the counter.
Okay. She kind of takes the 8 gold, slides it beneath the counter, and then she goes into a back room where you see that previously she had been kind of pouring drinks out of these kegs or, grabbing things from a variety of different locations, kind of pouring them out. This one, she actually goes into a back room, and then she comes back out after maybe about 30 seconds, and she places this beautiful kind of like, a steel mug in front of you, and you can see that the entire thing is made of metal. Kind of glancing on the interior, you see what appears to be like, there's like a snake floating on the interior of it. She attaches a small mesh to the top of it and just presses gently. And you can see that the actual snake and whatever liquids and variety of things kind of like get squished almost on the interior. And this like purplish liquid comes out into this, into the actual clear liquid and mixes with it for a brief moment before the entire the purple liquid comes out of the snake. And the entire thing kind of mixes itself ever so gently with the spoon that she's using until she kind of gives you a tiny little shot glass of it before she closes the lid back upon it. And then, please, enjoy.
Damn, that was quite the ceremony.
Oh, you did ask for the good stuff.
Take it, I'll sniff it.
You sniff it, and ooh, that is strong. This thing is at minimum 60%.
Down the hatch.
All right. Give me a Constitution saving throw. You have disadvantage.
Sure. How do I do with the disadvantage? What's the hotkey?
I don't think there's a hotkey anymore because I changed the setting. Let me actually try something. Okay, give me one momento. I think it's under MIDI. To change the workflow, it should be fast forward ability rolls. There we go. Okay, try now. You should be able to click it, and then it'll prompt you for disadvantage, advantage, or normal.
There we go. Yes.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, here's the thing, right? You down it, and for a brief moment, you're like, that didn't taste like 60%. That tasted amazing. Holy shit. For some reason,
still got it.
Yeah, it tasted like a mix of almost this very fruity wine mixed with some sort of like apple vinegar cider. Like the sourness is present in the back, but in the very front, it's very sweet and delicate. And then you realize, oh, that's my own puke coming up because you are now puking on the ground. As the rest of you watch as his eyes kind of like get dazed, and then he sits there, and you go into this trip. The rest of you watch his eyes kind of like almost gloss over, and Fulgor, in front of you is just a sea of black.
Oh boy.
And for a brief moment, a pair of eyes shine in the far distance. Not looking at you, but just existing. Until your senses are brought back into yourself and you realize, holy shit, what the hell was that? And the rest of you watch him pass out in a puddle of his own puke.
No.
You see...
I start a mosh pit on top of him.
Yeah, you see the tiefling woman, like, lean over him. I guess I have to deliver the water myself. She takes, like, a bunch of mugs of water and begins delivering it to your table. It is entirely up to you if you want to drink it.
Oh, I'll drink it.
For sure.
How does the water look? Is there anything special about the water?
Give me an investigation check. Or a nature check.
And this guy better know a fuck a lot about water.
You have disadvantage because you are inebriated.
You sure?
Yeah, these guys.
9, no fucking clue. You glance down, it just looks like water. Like, you can see the brown of the mug. Like, it looks nice. It's decent. It's
Sure.
probably-
I guess I'll have some water.
You down it, and it's fine. It's just normal water. There is a little bit of alcohol mixed in with it, maybe like half of a percentage. And you can tell that this is, that's probably fine. That's relatively normal. Even in your currently slightly inebriated sense of mind, clean water, like properly clean water, is almost impossible to come by. And most of it is, a little bit of alcohol is used to clean up whatever bacteria or terribleness that might be growing with it. But yeah, it's water. It clears your mind up a little bit. Wait, no, you're fucking unconscious on the ground. Never mind.
Oh, yeah,
Alright.
that's true, yeah.
No, yeah,
I can check. I can check.
yeah, Gardner and fucking Fulgor are just passed out. Gardner, you are completely out on the ground, just like lying there. While Fulgor is like face down, ass up in a puddle of his own puke. The
I
other
start
three
pouring water on these guys on the ground.
Okay, you do. After a little bit, both of them do wake up, though you have a pounding headache already, and you feel like you've drunk way too much. You, Zane, you're okay. Theron's mostly fine, and Gardner, yeah, you're not fine. Venjor and Fulgor, you're okay. Fulgor, you are fucked. Like, even after waking up, after having puked, you're like, oh.
Fedjor.
Well,
I'm sorry for the lightweight thing.
no.
He's not sorry.
No, you're...
Pokemon.
But you got me the spiritual drink. I'm just holding my water that I've been sipping.
Mm-hmm.
It's you know, Fulgor. Why? How you can tell? It's good, classy. Because you can't taste the booze, the alcohol.
It was pretty good.
All right. But eventually, unfortunately, because all of you are a little bit inebriated, time passes by relatively quickly. And so, though some of you do continue drinking, most of you, it's probably a bad idea. Do any of you continue to have alcohol?
I am very upset, and I am drinking just water now.
I still think my water is alcohol.
Also fair. But yeah, eventually the rowdiness of the actual tavern itself dies down, and you can see that the majority of the people have kind of shuffled out. The area gets relatively quiet, and just kind of as a general happenstance, all of you could tell that whatever this location is that the actual drinking had stopped about maybe about an hour or so ago, and that they're only serving waters or trying to take care of the variety of the people who are currently inebriated, of which you find a rather large crowd of them to be. In the other side of the room, where, you can see that along the sandstone wall, alongside the lengthways, there is like this very long kind of couch or a set of like cushions that are sitting that are located on the ground within that's like slightly indented, and you can see like there's like 30-40 people just sleeping in there. Most of them probably passed out because they had drunk too much. Some of them willingly got into the sleeping pit. There is room if you wanted to join them, or if you wanted to get your own rooms, you possibly could. Though you are getting quite tired and kind of, just getting to that point.
No, I'd probably get my own room. Or
Yeah.
if the party can get its own room, I guess.
Let's do it. Hand
All right. So, all of you are going to get one room, or one, like, tent room for yourselves?
Yeah.
Okay. All of you give me one last constitution saving throw. It is flat, and we're just going to see how well you do to see how inebriated you are at this quote-unquote end of the night.
Is it advantage, disadvantage?
Nope, just fine.
Normal?
Just fine.
Normal.
I'm so sober, it's not even funny.
Yeah, honestly, Zane, Fulgor, the two of you have mostly cleared up. For you, Zane, like 90% of the alcohol is through your body. You feel like a little lightheaded, but other than that, you're perfectly fine. Fulgor, honestly, you were pretty sure that because you had puked, all of it just kind of like went out of your system. Fenjor, you realize that now, it's been water you've been drinking. That's probably why you're fine. Theron, you're honestly, like, you didn't even have that, or you had a lot. However, you don't really feel it. Even now, it's like, you're still just got a little bit of drunken stupor, but you're fine. Gardner, you're not feeling great. You're okay, but you're not feeling great. You're probably gonna have a pounding headache, like even worse than the one you already have tomorrow morning. But
Fortunate.
yeah, if you wanted to get your rooms, the two tiefling ladies are still there. You can see that one of them has actually moved off to the side and is currently counting coins and kind of putting them in a pouch, while the other one is just like cleaning up the various different tables, trying to mop up and make sure that there's no like significant smell. If you wanted to approach one of them about a room.
Yeah, I'm gonna go approach one of them, and I'm going to talk to them into giving me a nice suite.
Which one are you going to speak to?
The one. Wait, don't they look the same? Sorry, what was
They look the exact same. It is impossible to tell them apart, except that one has a tiny little scar underneath one eye.
The one without a scar.
Okay, the one without a scar is the one currently cleaning. You kind of walk up to her. She looks at you. Yeah? You okay? Do you need more water?
No, actually, I wanted to talk to you about sleeping tonight. I was wondering if you could help me get a room in this lovely establishment.
Sure. Do you want just like a standing room? Or do you want a larger room? Do you want one that can fit you and all your friends? Actually, the standing room was built for 4, so I'm sure we could fit all 5 of you.
Do you have like an executive or presidential suite here? No,
Um,
we've had a
No,
long
we're,
day.
we're,
I think
we're
we
not
do.
that kind of establishment. We don't really have like really high end stuff here. It's just a normal passing in. If you're looking for like high end executive or fancy treatment, you'd probably be better off going deeper into Lantalis towards the actual castle itself. I'm sure some of the lower levels of the castle probably have their own sorts of inns, though that's not exactly the kind of area that people like us tend to frequent. So I wouldn't know.
It's the nicest room you have for us.
All our rooms are the same. The nicest rooms would be the easiest to get to for those that are drunk, which is on our first floor.
All right. How many floors are in this room? I mean, this building.
There's 4. It's not an actual.
Okay.
It's not like an actual building. Like the drinking area is a building. However, the actual like rooms are a bunch of things that are just like strung up. It almost looks like a what's like a variety of like kites that have been tangled together to form this like really beautiful like triangular shaped tarps that float upwards. If you wanted a first
floor, please.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
May I get a room on the 4th floor, please?
On the highest floor?
On the highest floor.
Okay, sure. There are still, I think, 2 rooms open. One is closer to the front, be easy to get out of, and one is closer to the back. You'll probably have a decent view because you can actually see over the canopy of the city with that.
Take the one with the view. Thank you.
Okay, it'll be 1 gold per person, and that room fits 6, so you'd be more than comfortable enough.
Easy.
She kind of reaches out a hand.
All right, guys. What do you think?
Yep.
Sure,
1G.
1 gold sounds reasonable.
No, that sounds good.
All right. So, do you guys all produce the 1 gold?
Sure.
Is there a special discount for parties of 4 or 5?
No.
Come on, how can I not persuade this woman with my persuasion skills? Like, what is this?
You have to think of a reason. Like,
Yeah.
how would you go about persuading her?
Say you are handsome beyond reason and you deserve a discount.
That is true.
Is that what you say?
It's because I'm such a charismatic fellow.
Is that what you say?
I don't know what I just say to get a discount. You know what? Whatever. You guys are.
it's
Can't convince this woman.
it's
Can't
5
convince-
gold, bro.
Dude, I only have 5 gold. What are you talking about here? That's a
Hey,
discount.
we're each paying one. We're each paying one.
Yeah. They're each paying 1, that guy.
Yeah, but I only have
Well,
5 gold.
that's a fifth of your
quarter
life
of my-
savings,
That's a
but-
fifth of my wealth. I mean.
We're gonna get more tomorrow.
She takes the money and kind of like with a weird hand gesture, you can see she waves her right hand. Out of her right hand just appears like it's not necessarily like a key, but it's like a small stone. As she kind of like puts it in your hand, this stone will guide you to your room, as well as it will actually open up the top to the front. Have a wonderful sleep.
Thank you.
Thank you, pretty lady.
Thank you.
Shouldn't they thanks to me?
Oh, no, the thank you was to both of you.
Oh, okay. Got him.
But yeah, as you kind of walk out of the actual back of the building, you glance up at this like essentially a maze of varieties of tents and tarps and like strings that are kind of done up, and you realize that as you look up at the very highest floor at the very farthest back, you see what appears to be like a small glowing almost like triangle, and as you look down at your actual stone, there is an arrow that is pointing kind of like at the actual glowing triangle as well. As you look around, you realize you don't know how to get up. Because there are no stairs. There's no solid foundation to any of this.
We can't sleep or what?
You just
What is a glowing triangle? Like, do we know what it is? Is there like?
Bro, I want a
Kind of-
refund.
give me an Arcana check.
Alright.
I'm gonna start climbing.
There we
Yo.
go.
Oh, okay. Gardner, you know that if you press on the actual arrow within the stone that you see in front of you, it will most likely reveal something else.
Press
No.
it.
Sure.
Not most likely. It will reveal something else.
Press it, buddy.
Yeah. As soon as you
that's-
press it, a variety of strings actually begin to glow, leading from all the way from your room all the way down to where you currently are. And you can see that the one that Fulgor has kind of grabbed onto, as soon as you grab onto it, you begin to like float lightly.
Oh,
Damn.
Like it doesn't
shit, okay.
carry you upwards, but it gives you enough lift that it's really easy to pull yourself along that actual length of kind of like string. But yeah, it seems to be showing you a path to your room.
I mean, it's been long day. Let's just go. Is there anything else we want to do before we head to sleep? Is there anything else we can do?
Kind of glancing
So,
around,
we
the sun has been down for a long time. The two moons are currently very high in the sky, and as of currently, both of them are about 3/4 full. You're not sure if they're waning or they're waxing, but the night is dark. It's quiet, and kind of glancing around on the actual streets themselves, doesn't look like there's many people, mainly because most people have probably gone home by now. With a rough estimate, it's probably around an hour past midnight.
This night is still young.
I guess I'll start climbing up the rope
Alright.
to get to the room.
And it's not even really a climb. It's just like you put your hand on it, and then you just pull yourself along it very easily. And within moments, you are at the actual room itself. And as soon as you kind of walk up to it, you can see that as you approach the actual entrance of it, it does open up ever so slightly. And on the interior, it's what appears to be just like a long, large, kind of almost like slightly loose fitting tarp on the ground. And as soon as you step on it, it doesn't like harden underneath your foot, but it does get firmer. And as you kind of like walk around, it's like a beautiful like 15 feet by 15 feet room. And the actual, it's not like walls or ceilings or anything. It's just a bunch of tarps that are kind of like decorated in a way to give you enough privacy, but also in a way where you can see outside, where you can kind of like, if you're standing up, there's a variety of tarps that allow you to kind of just like glance outside towards the distant horizons, of which, glancing out, you do see the Algera Plains out in beautiful sights. And from your current position, you actually see to the northeast, you see the Fazan Mountains far in the distance, in the distant coast, past the lakes and the lair of Darien, far, far above a singular mountain peak, far above all of the others. And as of this current moment, give me a perception check, given you that you are the first in the room and looking out a window. Mr. Fenjor.
I'm sorry, but you said arid plains, not aeroplanes, right?
I said arid plains.
Okay. I was very, very confused for a moment there.
No. Yeah. But yeah, Fenjor, as you're kind of like glancing outwards, it's beautiful. And honestly, slightly terrifying, because you do see what appears to be movement near the top of this lair, of where you know that Darien resides.
Oh shit. Okay.
You kind of quickly pull closed the tarps, and then, yeah, as soon as you lay down, you realize that only the locations where your feet are touching kind of like tense up almost, and it feels like a solid surface to walk on. Well, as soon as you lie down and you kind of sit, your ass and like the rest of your body just begins to like sink into the actual soft fabric, and it feels really nice. Like, There's no pillows, there's no beds, there's no blankets or anything like that. There's not even a table, but it's very comfortable in here. And eventually the rest of the party also catches up and kind of enter the room. It seems purely for sleeping. So, do you guys just go to bed?
I crash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fulgor walks in, instantly falls over, starts snoring on the ground. All right. But was there anything else you guys wanted to do for the night, or am I good to move it to morning?
I wanted to ask a question, actually.
Sure.
Is there like some kind of like racial thing against Dragonborn in this world in general?
Yes, very much so.
Because of the dragons?
Give me a history check. There's some general information that you would already know, which I'm going to tell you, but I just want to see how much you would know, like in complete. Okay, you know, a pretty good amount. You know that for the most part, for the complete part, there had been no such thing as Dragonborn before the Age of Dragons began. Like, there were people who had scales, there were people who had like powers from dragons. While dragons themselves existed, there was no dragonborns. There was one god that you're vaguely aware of that you think took the form of like a dragonoid human, but they weren't really considered dragonborn, and they had never, sired children as far as you were aware, as in they hadn't created other dragonborns. So you're fairly certain that dragonborns are, well, they were only really created after these dragons had kind of come over and taken over after, like, slaughtering a lot of the old gods.
Okay.
One thing that you would know specifically is that it was rumored that Dragonborn were agents of the dragons. You don't know how accurate this actual rumor was, whether it was a tall tale that was fabricated by people or whether it was truth. So there's a reason why people see them with a lot of suspicion.
How are Dragonborn people, like, are they normal people? Who are they?
Give
Or
me
what are they?
an Arcana check. Or nature. Nature check. Sorry, nature. Yeah, nature check.
Yeah.
You have no idea. I mean, you know that they're some type of people. You just don't know what their origins are. You don't know how they were created. You don't know, like, where they're actually born from or how they're born. You just know they exist. But yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right.
For me, anyway.
And I'm guessing that's it from everyone else. Speak or
Yep.
forever hold your peace for the next 30 seconds.
Yeah, let's see what the new day has in store for us.
Okay. And eventually, the dawn comes, and all of you kind of like shake yourselves awake after a couple of hours of relatively peaceful sleep. And it's comfortable. It's very nice. The interior of it's still very cool. But as you glance up past the actual tarps themselves, you can see that rather than the dark night sky with the beautiful constellations that sit within the exterior now, instead there is a beautiful blue sky with very light clouds that seem to be covering the very tops of it. And as soon as this kind of like occurs, you also realize that, oh, it's the day the celebrations are beginning. that today is the proper first day of those kind of like celebrations for this event that is soon to take place. But you all wake up refreshed, tired. No, not tired anymore, but yeah. What do you guys
I mean,
up
the
to?
thing's at noon, right? So we still have some time, or like how long does it take roughly to get from our quarters back to the palace?
Probably about an
to where-
hour or so.
Do we
So
know?
is that a
if-
short rest?
No, yes, sorry, that is indeed a short rest specifically, because in this game we are going with the epic resting system. So I will do that for you. Give me one moment. I will add all of you to here. So it's Logan, we have Zane, we have John, we have Vincenti, and we have Tierney. Boom, there you go.
Epic rest.
Short rest. I've
Short rest,
prompted you for a short rest. You may do as you wish.
What's the food source thing?
Shit.
I will say that you guys have exterior food. Like, you don't have to worry about it for this. It is mainly for survival, just in case you guys are traversing between areas. Oh, you should have said you had an exterior food source. I think it's fine. I don't think it'll matter for this one, but you will have to do it for tomorrow. Because I think like there's a exhaustion or a rest system that kicks in if you don't have enough food or water.
So how do hit dice work with the system?
The hit dice is that you have all of the hit dice of both classes, and you have all of
Yeah.
them to use. If you so wish, you could use all of them. However,
And they
you do
refresh.
not. You get all of them back on a long rest.
Okay. Ooh.
Benny, kijk mij.
Anyway.
But yeah, eventually all of you wake up in the morning, and but yeah, it's probably about an hour to the palace if you need to make it there. It's maybe about 8 a.m. for you guys, so still got some time.
Like, have we seen traces of the Dragonborn? Like, or I guess I was too drunk to care. But like has is he also staying? In the
I
same
will
inn?
I'll tell you guys that I saw this. That I saw that.
Sure. No, I mean, like, do we know what happened to the Dragonborn after we
You
got?
have no idea. All of you were too inebriated to keep track.
Interesting. What do you guys think are interesting leads? Or
It is entirely up to you what you pursue.
Wait, what are you asking?
or, like, what are other interesting leads maybe we can go after in these couple of hours? Like, do you want to find out if the people are still sad, or do you still want to find out, like, what's the Dragonborn doing here? Like, what's the interesting question to be asked right now, I think.
Mm.
If I knew there was a dragonborn here last night, I probably would have chatted him up, but guess that opportunity's gone.
Unfortunate. I mean, we still are in the back streets, right? Like, this inn was part of, like, the tavern and the inn were both part of the back street.
You guys are still in like the actual heart of the city, the actual city itself, not the cleansed and kind of like store-fronted, weird front of the city.
Is the scowling dude still around?
Sorry, scowling dude? The guy in the cowl?
Wasn't there?
The woman in the
did
cowl?
you say cowl?
Yeah,
Oh shit!
as in like they're in a hood.
Yeah, in a hood. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah. It's the woman in the hood seems to have been the same one that you had seen earlier in the day in the watering hole that you were at.
Right.
However, as you're currently kind of like I'm guessing you guys are still in your room, or did you want to exit the room and kind of like go into the streets?
No, I'll exit the room. But while we're talking about like, there was that weird little girl in the hunting spot yesterday.
That is true.
Right.
Don't know what that was all about. But then I have no idea where to start. Even asking about that might be weird for someone to walk up just asking if they've seen little girls in the area.
Oh, no.
That would probably be a little weird.
Was there anything special about the girl? Was there any markings on her? Do we was there any distinguishing or anything that we knew of that?
No, the only reason that you even knew that it was potentially the same person was because they were wearing the same cowl and like cape that covered the majority of their face, which was very strange because you actually couldn't see into the darkness. Like there was no chin that was revealed. There was no anything. The only reason you even knew they were a girl was because the clothes that they were wearing were relatively tight.
Interesting. I guess let's go downstairs. Maybe have another drink. Maybe see who else is around. Tavern.
Yes, we can see who's in the establishment still, and we can
Yeah.
As you guys
take
kind
a
of
gander outside.
wandering back into the actual establishment itself, you can, as you kind of feel your pocket for the stone, you realize that it's gone. Kind of looking down, and you're like, "Oh, weird." But as soon as you'd actually left your room, it closed behind you, and it seems to have been like almost sealed. As you tried to walk back in, there wasn't really anything that you could do. But as you kind of walk into the actual establishment itself, given that it's relatively early in the morning, there's actually not a lot of people. You see two people specifically. One, what appears to be one of the tiefling women that had been working last night. Like their long, beautiful horns kind of curled upwards, and this black hair and this red skin. One of them is currently sleeping in like the long, slight divot in the ground where this long couch is. There's a few other figures that are sleeping in there as well, but no one notable. At least no one that you had noted before. And you see what appears to be like an older gentleman, probably late 50s. Beautiful, like well-combed kind of white beard, slicked back white hair that's kind of like tied up in a high ponytail. A human man. As soon as all of you kind of like walk towards him, he kind of looks over. "Oh, hello. I believe you were present last night, yes?"
Yeah.
Like, how does he dress? Like, does he look rich? Does he look poor? Does he look from the city? Like, it's like, is there anything else we can say about him?
He definitely looks like he's from the city. Like all of the clothes that he's wearing is relatively airy. It's kind of like loose, very similar to how Farron is dressing. How Zane is dressed. You can see that there's like light flowy robes. It's not like as fancy as Zane's is. His are very simple and kind of like drapes over the majority of the body. And you can see that, like if you recall Middle Eastern businessmen wearing like all of their fancy white clothes, like the Saudi Arabian princes and things like that, he's kind of dressed like that, but like not necessarily to the prince's extent. No turban on top of his head, but he's, you know, very, very tan. Like his skin is like a dark, dark brown. But yeah, he kind of looks towards all of you. Is there anything I could help you with?
You seen any scaly men?
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to be more specific. Do you mean people with scales? Or do you mean lizard folk? Or do you mean a dragonborn?
Dragonborn.
Yes, like the one that was present here last night.
Do you know him, her?
I
Not gonna
don't.
assume genders.
I don't typically keep track of my customers.
How? Hmm.
They came in,
Oh, so
they bought a drink or two, and as far as I'm aware, they left sometime during the night.
Hmm.
You knew they were Dragonborn. They seemed to be concealing themselves while they were around here.
Yes, to the majority of people, they would have been fooled, but it was a simple illusion spell. No, anybody with a keen enough eye could see past it. Though I do question why you are so curious. I do understand that there is prejudice against those with dragonborn backgrounds, though very strange for people to be purposely asking for trouble, especially because the majority of them are trouble.
Where can I find more of these people?
Dragonborns are incredibly rare. As far as I'm aware, there is only maybe a dozen or 2 dozen across the entire continent.
Where did they come from?
I don't think I know any more than you. They came with the dragons at around the same period of time. Though many people suspect that they come from the dragons themselves, the colors of their scales representing the dragon that they're with. It could be pure
Jake,
fiction, or it could be fact. What's up?
with my specific history, would I know more about Dragonborns?
Give me... would you? Fuck, I forgot what your character's history was. Could you remind me? You could either like type it out or something.
It's a little bit of a spoiler, but
you can type it out. You don't have
I'll
to
type
like,
it out to you real quick.
It's like I don't remember. Oh, yes. Yeah, you would. Give me a history check with advantage. Or, sorry, a nature check with advantage.
Nature with advantage.
Yes.
Damn, bam.
Okay. That's pretty good. As you're thinking about it, you do remember specifically that Dragonborns, they don't actually come from dragons. They're specifically born or created by the purpose of the dragons forming a golem. Nearly every single dragonborn that is quote unquote born had been created by some sort of magic. Most of them are golems, or what is it? What is that thing? Simulacrums.
Simulacrum.
Yeah. For like the actual dragons themselves. They are never nearly as powerful, but they are often used as scouts or secondary bodies. Or like, something else that they could use as fodder.
Okay, I regale them with it. I'm like, come on. That's a whole lot of hogwash. No, they're constructed by the dragons as like foot soldiers in a kind of way, like able bodies.
You seem to know quite a bit.
I've got a little experience with dragons.
One that not many people alive can say.
Although it's been quite a while. Might need to brush up on some of the details here and there.
And kind of looks at you. Give me a charisma saving throw.
Saving throw? I'm not good at those.
The rest of you hear and see his eyes kind of glow ever so slightly, and he says out loud, "Tell me who you are." He has cast suggestion on you.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck. Okay.
My name is Fulgoroy. How descriptive do I gotta be?
That's up to you.
My name is Fulgoroy. Formerly of Dragonblood myself.
You see the spell and feel it ease. Ah, so that's how you know. Interesting, isn't it? Well, do take care.
What in the hell? What did you just do to me?
Oh, a simple spell. I hope you take no offense to it. He kind of has this, like, sly smile on his face.
Is like Fulgor's like fists like visibly like clench up as he's like fighting back the urge to swing.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I hope that answers your question and mine. It certainly did mine. He kind of sits down. No, was there anything else? Or can I get back to counting my coin?
No, I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm done here.
Oh, you gotta head out.
Have a wonderful day, and do come back. We always have rooms open. As you walk out, you know, he keeps having this, like, sly grin on his face. Until you are now back upon the streets proper. And you can see the majority of the people going about their day, though there is actually not that many people. You can see that actually a lot of the stores that would typically have been open, or like the storefronts, they are shut. There are still people going in and out of various different buildings, but you're fairly sure that these are people going, you know, between houses or between residences or things like that. Not as busy as you had expected it to be, given what you had seen previously. Certainly not as busy as it was the day before. What are you guys doing now?
Mm.
I'm down to just go to the ceremony, unless someone else has an idea or something to do.
Alright. So, as all of you begin to kind of advance forward throughout the rest of the city, how are you guys getting back into the normal zone? I'm just gonna walk in. Go the same path you did before, or do something else?
I mean, it's sure as I have
Walk in,
disguised,
no? Like, are we?
disguised as like a regular civilian. I think
Sorry?
I have a disguise kit. I think I could just like disguise as one of the other city dwellers, right, and just try to sneak back in.
Oh, I mean, you potentially could, yeah. You don't have the clothes for it, but you can try.
Sure. Maybe that's easier. That's better.
I'm interested just to walk in. Why would we not be allowed to join the ceremony? So seeing as we're the ones getting paid, should we not want people to recognize us?
I don't know if we want them recognizing us.
You're
Leaving the place they didn't want us to go.
you're on the actual city proper. You're not supposed to be here.
We just sneak out. Then.
Like, you could tell that there is a discrepancy between the citizens that are allowed to be in like the main areas versus the citizens that are back here. The majority of the ones back here are like, they look like they're, you know, not quite as clean. They don't have maybe access to the same hygiene. A lot of them are really skinny. Some of them are probably too skinny. Some of them are even look like dehydrated. Like, they're just not nearly as better off as those ones who seem to be like in the main streets.
See, we're lost. We got lost.
Yeah?
Oh,
Is that what you're gonna do?
I want to stealth out.
then I'll stealth up. We'll all stealth out. But I can't stealth out. I'm too fat.
And you convince me.
You can try. Try it.
Alright, let me try. If I get caught, I'm riz them up again.
For those of you who want to try and stealth out, give me a stealth check.
Damn, it's gonna be tough out here.
Ooh, that's 20.
Okay, Zane.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I will say, because you rolled a nat 20, Zane, you can cover one other person's stealth as well, if you would like.
Damn, whoever gets the lowest, I'll cover you.
Oh, we still have 2 people who haven't rolled yet. Oh,
Alright.
man. It's like a competition. It's like Theron, Fenjor, and then Gardner. Of course, Fulgore is perfectly fine.
I am surprisingly stealthy.
Surprising?
Yeah, I'll take
Just
Gardner.
like-
You guys
just like
have
my
to
score.
my out of here.
No.
Okay. But yeah. You begin to kind of like... Yeah, so Zane, you're taking Gardner out of there?
Yeah.
Alright. Zane, you kind of grab Gardner by the scruff of his neck, and you manage to pull him into the alley right as one of the guards passes by. Unfortunately, you didn't have enough time to grab Fenjor and Theron, and the 2 of you kind of like are standing out in the open, walking back towards the main area while you see like a pair of guards approach. Both of them look at you. One of them kind of like raises his spear slightly behind the other one. And you see the one in front is like, wait a second. You're not supposed to be back here. What are you doing? You're adventurers. What have you
We
seen?
got lost.
They just don't answer.
Sir, we got lost. We were trying to find our way to the
You don't get lost. You must have
All right.
actually sneaked back here. Why?
It's a little embarrassing. So basically, I bet this fat ass here that he couldn't throw my bow farther than I could shoot it. But he's got an arm on him, and it hit a wall and kind of bounced back over there.
Who allowed you past?
What?
Who allowed you into the areas?
Was someone supposed to allow us? We didn't go far. It was just through the alley where the bow landed.
Kind of narrows his eyes. Give me a deception check. Specifically you, Fenjor.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, this guy.
no.
You're shit liar. You're both coming with me.
Oh, I'm telling you,
He
this
draws
guy,
his sword.
he's a funny guy. He's a funny guy.
If you don't comply, I will force you to.
Bruh, this guy. Wait, is it just one of him?
No, it's him and then his partner, like right behind him, holding a spear. His partner has been pointing his spear
I'm
at
not
the
even,
2 of you the
see,
entire
I'm not even
time.
talking like I'm talking to the guy with the spear. I'm talking to the guy with the spear. I'm like, see, look, guys, this is just it's just a mistake. We got lost.
Yeah,
But
and you'll have time to make up for your mistake at the barracks. Come. Now.
Can I hit them with a deception check?
No, it's too late for that.
How
You
many guards?
You should have interrupted Fenjor. There's only 2 of them so far, and currently, from the best that you can tell, it's relatively quiet.
I think it's a 5v2. I might have to step in, boys.
Oh God.
Is that how I was wording it?
I just say, okay, I'll just walk up. I'll be like, yo, I have some.
A third.
These are my friends. They are very dumb.
Okay.
I apologize
As
for being in the
soon
way.
as you appear and you start talking, you see the guy behind with the spear grab what appears to be a horn. He is about to blow on it. I will say all of you have an action that you can take before he gets it to his lips. What are you going to do? We're going to start with John. Mr. Fulgor, what are you up to? You are, as of this current moment, completely hidden within the alleyway. In the darkness, you are listening to this conversation going on, and you realize, oh shit, this is not good.
Oh, this cute.
Not only do I say it's not good, I'm also very pissed at the owner of that inn.
Oh,
So-
incredibly.
In my current fury, I pull out my whip.
Ooh.
Pull out the whip.
Okay.
And I'm going to attempt to whip the horn out of his hand.
Okay. Make me an attack roll. You have disadvantage. Because
But
you
I'm stealth, so does it even out?
Because you are stealth, you have advantage, so it's just flat.
Watch me whip.
A 10.
Does 10 hit whip DC?
Unfortunately,
Ooh.
not.
Horn DC?
Unfortunately. Getting it out of his hand is probably easier. What's his dex mod? If it's a 0, I will say yes. If it's not 0, let me double check. You are so fucking lucky. Their dex is +0.
Yeah.
In that
These
brief
guys suck.
alteration, all of you see him like grab the horn, pull it up, and in that brief moment, his entire hand goes ah! It doesn't actually hurt him. However, you can see the horn get like snapped in 2 before the entire horn kind of like flies out from his hand and onto the ground beside him. That is your action, Fulgor. Zane, you saw the horn kind of get blown into 2 pieces from a whip that appeared in the darkness, from the darkness.
Yeah. How far am I from these guards?
Maybe about 10 feet. You're relatively
Right.
close.
Could I use prestidigitation and make them smell like literal ass to distract?
You're trying to make them smell like ass to distract them?
Yeah.
You know what?
Foolproof.
Sure. Give me a spellcasting check. What is your spellcasting? Yeah.
Just a cantrip.
Yep, that's fine. What's your spellcasting modifier? Like which stat do you use?
Which one is it? I don't know. I think it's like charisma or some shit.
What class are you?
I'm a arcane trickster.
Oh, it's rogue, sorcerer. No, your prestidigitation comes from your sorcerer, so it's charisma. So roll me a charisma check with proficiency.
Just like ability check.
Just roll me a charisma saving throw. I'm pretty sure you have proficiency in this.
Charisma saving throw. Normal?
Yep, just normal.
Oh god.
Okay, 9. That is their saving DC against you. Let's see. I'm gonna go open up a 6. Drakengard. It is a, let's say, Constitution saving throw against your charisma. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Smell ass, buddy.
The other one is fine. However,
One of them smells total ass.
you snap your fingers, and for a brief moment, the guy in you know what? Let's say it's the guy in front. The guy in front who's holding like the sword, he immediately like doubles over and starts gagging, while the guy behind is like, "Oh, ew." He just says "ew," but like he's fine.
Guys, run.
Do you guys all run?
Bet.
Wait, no, can we do other things? Like, can I put him to sleep?
Are you going to try?
Was that an option this whole time?
I don't know. Am I allowed to? Like, how do I do this? Do I just click it?
Are you casting the sleep spell?
I want to.
Yeah,
But-
you can.
What the fine prints are?
Did you read them?
Like, yeah, but it says 20 feet sphere. Like that's a pretty big sphere.
Yeah, and both of them are within 5 feet of each other, so you can easily do that.
But I'm more worried about like making
Catching one of us.
one of us fall asleep.
It's only targets you pick.
Oh, okay, sounds good. I'm gonna do it then. Fuck, how do I throw this?
Yeah, you should just be able to click it on your character sheet and then drop drop a thing on the map.
Oh, what the frick is huge?
Well, on this map, it's specifically huge.
Yeah.
It's not like because this map's not to scale.
Right. So can I drop it anywhere?
Just drop it anywhere. It's fine. Yeah.
I'm covering the whole entire continent. Oh, they're asleep. They're asleep. Goodbye.
Oh, 20.
Night, night.
Okay, it is 20 damage worth of sleep. You are. Unfortunately, the two of them combined have more than 20 health. The one with less HP, the guy in the back, falls asleep.
But the first one smells ass.
But the first one is doubled over, gagging. He is on the ground. He has dropped his sword, and he is just like doubled over, going. And like it's bad.
I start booking it.
Yeah, we start letting
Anyone
him
fall
Yeah, we're
out?
gonna book it. We're gonna book it.
Yeah, bucket.
Okay.
Get farted.
Question is, which side do you book it to?
What? Their sides?
Yeah.
Like toward the inner city or toward the part they didn't want us in.
Didn't we just come from the part they didn't want us in, or?
Yep. Like, do you go
gotta
back
go-
that way, or do you go back into the actual city proper?
City proper, so we can go attend the thing, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You guys bolt that way. And very, very quickly, you leave the two of them behind, because one of them is fucking asleep, and the other one is doubled over, gagging on the ground. Give me just a stealth check, just to see if you can manage to get away from them.
Oh boy, another.
Not this again.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh, Fenjor. I'm still missing one. Who am I missing?
Gardner,
Gardner?
I think.
Vince? Hello? Vince?
Who?
Did he die?
Vince.
Hello?
Vincent?
I hope not.
Is he asleep? What happened? Vincent!
Where are you?
Damn. He died. R.I.P. I guess I roll for him. Stealth. Oh. Well, that's not great, but it's fine. I would say because this is a group check. That it's taking the average values instead. So you were very lucky, Fenjor.
Oh, Jesus.
But most of you managed to kind of blend back into the crowd relatively easily. Some of you have a little bit of a rougher time, Fenjor, Theron, Gardner, but you're okay. Eventually, you find yourselves back into the main city proper. Are you advancing towards the castle?
A sea.
Okay.
Is the castle where they announced the winner?
Yeah, probably back at the same place before, right?
It's actually within the castle itself.
Oh, okay. Bet.
Okay. Eventually, you all make your way back into the actual area of the castle itself, managing to avoid the suspicious stares of some guards. Eventually, you are let into the castle, and you can see the very large and beautiful halls, just as you had seen previously. Kind of walking through the doors, the garden lies as it was, and you are once again teleported from the base. And you find yourselves very much at the very top of the city once more. You can see that in this hookah lounge that was before, kind of filled with people that were waiting, now is, for the most part, empty. And the actual entranceway to whatever this throne room appears to have been is now filled to the brim with varieties of people. You can see adventurers, hunters, and peoples all around. And as you actually kind of like enter the area and gather, you can see like there's at least 100, maybe 200 people all around, and each of them are just having their own bits of conversation as the 5 of you kind of begin to blend into the crowd proper. But yeah, eventually, after a little while, the actual kind of like consensus is called, and you hear like an announcer guy kind of standing at the very front of the podium. You see he clears his throat, his eyes begin to glow ever so slightly, and his voice kind of booms out across the entirety of the actual room itself. And here we have the winners of our current competition, of which our dear Raja had put together yesterday. Those of you who have participated, thank you for providing such wonderful gifts for Darayan to feast upon, and thank you all for your work in providing us with a sustainable lifestyle that will continue to be for the prosperity and riches of all of those within Lantalis. We thank you all for accepting our invitation, and for those of you who did not win, your gifts have already been prepared. Your values of your money and your gold has been given. For those of you who have won, and he kind of like lists 3 groups, one of which you guys are, please step forth.
Yeah.
I think you guys named yourselves like the fucking daddies or something?
The Gallant Dad.
Yeah, Gallant Dad.
Dads. Yes.
Say the
No,
name.
Dad. It was singular. Dad was singular.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was singular dad.
People get very confused when they see like 5 dudes walking forward as the gallant dad. They kind of look and they're like, oh, okay. But the gallant dad is announced. Your group comes forth, and you are presented with the first place prize, surprisingly. The other 2 groups came very, very close. And because you guys got the first place prize, you guys actually get 2,500 gold to split between the 5 of you.
Ooh.
Hey,
Whoa.
So each of you gets 500 flat.
yes. I'm rich.
I love it.
Um,
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
It's no one.
Start from the bottom, now man.
They kind of like present this case where it's like, oh yeah, these guys got this. It's like the 3rd place group, they managed to get like 4 boars and like 6 rabbits, and they even caught a deer. You see like the 2nd place group, they did pretty well as well. They actually got like a panther. They got 3 goats and like 2 deers, as well as like 3 or 4 boars, as well as like 10 rabbits. And then they presented your prize, which was the drake. And they kind of like, yeah, this group just kind of casually just got a fucking drake, 2 panthers, a bunch of fucking like deers and shit. And they're like, everybody else was like, woo, wow. There's a large crowd that begins to clap for all of you.
Thank you.
But yeah, all of this gold is kind of like given to you as these big old prizes. And additionally, you hear the Raja kind of himself walk down. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you see Vanj Pavel, the actual Raja himself. He kind of walks down the steps very slowly, kind of carefully. Kind Congratulations. You have won this very beautiful competition that we have. Now, because all of you have been given the first place prize, I would like to offer you something else in addition. Because Lord Darayan will be visiting us very soon, as in, well, tomorrow. I would like to present all of you, specifically the 5 of you, the gallant dad, with an opportunity to attend a banquet in which Darayan himself will be present. Would you like to come? It is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's good to me.
Excellent. I look forward to seeing you. Be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. sharp. If you are not, well, you will not be missed. And he kind of like walks away, turns around. You can see the announcer once again. Thank you all for coming, and congratulations once again to the gallant dad. Not the gallant dads, the gallant dad. Winning this prize.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
The gallant dad.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. And you can see like people kind of dissolve into their own groups and begin having their own conversations, while a few of the groups kind of begin to kind of like walk up to you guys. You see an older human man, big, gruff, buff. You can see that he was a part of the second group, the second place group. He kind of walks up to all of you. Congratulations on your win. Next time, not be so easy. He walks away.
Thank you, my son.
I am your dad.
We are gallant, dad.
You wish. You see,
Okay to be second.
he walks away grumbling and like pissed off underneath his breath.
I make him smell ass.
Jesus.
Give me that roll again. Oh my god. Oh, even with a +8, holy shit! The rest of you watch him like, what the fuck? Just like, even the people around him just like walk away. It's like, oh, my dear, did this man shit his pants? Oh my god. Bruh, you couldn't have waited to the bathroom. Holy shit, what does it smell? Oh. Yeah, it's very entertaining. Before he kind of turns around, glares at you.
I said, wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me, man.
Fucking walks away swiftly. You see another man kind of walk up to you guys as well. Like short, dwarvish, probably no more than like 4.5 foot high. He walks up, gruff, not necessarily like very buff, but he seems to be, you know, quite well versed at the very least. His skin is very tan. He's got like this bald spot on the very top of his head. Walks over. Congratulations on your wins, Dad.
Thank you.
Say, how'd you bag it?
Huh?
How'd you bag it? Drake. They're not exactly creatures that are easy to hunt. They're very rare, for one. Didn't even know there was one in the field.
Nobody knew either. Just got him.
So y'all telling me it's luck?
Whatever you want to call it.
All skill.
Well, we did have a little bit of help from a little panther, though we didn't last long.
Well, I see. That's very good to know. But congratulations on your win nonetheless.
Thank you.
Yeah, nods, walks away. Yeah. You can either continue to enjoy the actual party until the time when the festivities properly start at noon, or you can dissolve yourselves and go off into the city if you so wish.
Oh, I'm gonna head out though. Like actually head out.
Oh.
But you guys keep playing.
I mean, we could just call it early. It's fine.
No, you guys keep going. Keep going. Don't remind me. I actually just have to go to bed. But that's about it.
Don't worry about it. Go to sleep. Good night, my dude.
Hey, good night.
Good night,
I
sir.
don't know.
Good night.
Well, it's up to the rest of you if you want to continue or not. It's been about 2 hours, you know. It's probably a solid time. And honestly, I don't know if Vincent's still here.
Yeah.
If he's asleep, then we might need to.
If he's gone, so
I think he actually fell
about to
asleep.
stop.
That was
Does he
Kurt.
do this often?
No, this is the first time. Like, he's never fallen asleep on anything before. And he's usually not this tired. He is in the same time zone as, like, Tiani, but, like, it's only 10:30.
Yeah, he hasn't written anything in Discord, so I don't think it's like his internet died or something.
Yeah.
I